So today I'll be doing a video discussing Natsu revealing his new form and why you guys need to be excited for Natsu's newest transformation in Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest. But in case you guys have been living underneath the rock and didn't know, Fairy Tail has released a brand new video game, but what if I told you there was a game even better than the one that was released on console? Because Tales of Wind, yes, shout out to Tales of Wind for sponsoring this video, but Tales of Wind, they have partnered with Fairy Tail for a brand new in-game event. So yes, in case you guys have been living underneath the rock and don't know, go ahead and download Tales of Wind right now because that is the hottest Fairy Tail game. Yes, as you guys can see, you can literally play a Fairy Tail game from your phone to get all of the amazing armors. You guys see Urza re-equipped, Happy. You guys can get all of this greatness for the great price of free $99. Yes, this is 100% free. All you gotta do is click the link in the description down below to download the game. Tales of Wind, they are having a special Fairy Tail collab and it's free, so why wouldn't you want it? So if you guys are a member of the Fairy Tail fan, if you consider yourself a real Fairy Tail fan, go ahead and download Tales of Wind so you can play this in-game awesome Fairy Tail event. But let's go ahead and talk about this Natsu revealing his new form, because what if I told you guys that Natsu, this is going to be his strongest form ever, and it was going to be after his fire dragon god form. Now yes, in case you guys have been living underneath the rock and didn't know, Natsu has the power of the fire dragon god. Yes, Natsu is the fire dragon god's pupil because we know that his older stepbrother Ignia, aka Igneal's real son, he is the fire dragon god and he gave Natsu some of his power. But I do think that Natsu, he is getting ready to master the power that he got from Ignia, and this is going to be a lot similar to what he did with Igneal's power, where we saw, obviously, he had to go on the most iconic and greatest time skip in the 1 year time skip. Listen, everybody and their mom, we all agree that Natsu should have kept that long hair, but no, in all seriousness, we do know that Natsu, when he did go on that journey, he did that to master Igneal's Fire Dragon King's power. And now that he has the Fire Dragon God's power, I do think that Natsu, he will go on a separate journey to master this new form, just like how he did with the 1 year time skip, especially after seeing what he did to the Water Dragon God. Even though the Water Dragon God wasn't at full power, we saw that Natsu, he could not control himself. So I do think that Natsu, he is definitely going to have to learn how to master this spooky form, because this is looking like it's going to be the strongest thing yet, and we still even haven't seen it at full power. Which is why I do believe that once Natsu does return, he will actually have this form completed. Yes, because Natsu couldn't control the power like how he showed us when he used it the first time, this is why I do think he is going to take this long break, because like I said, he wouldn't want to hurt, obviously, we know Natsu, he wouldn't want to hurt any of his friends, his Nakama, Lucy, all that stuff. So I do think that Natsu, this is why this will be possibly even longer than the 1 year time skip, just because we know that it's going to be a longer and a difficult power to master. So I definitely do think that Natsu, he is going to have to take all of his power. It's not going to be like some little trip, like some journey. No. He's not going to have to take the same route that he did with Igneal's power, because we saw with Igneal's power, he was able to have a little bit of a leeway with it because he knew it was going away. But if Natsu wants to keep on using this power, he will have to master it. And I definitely do think that he's going to have full control over it, which is stuff that he doesn't have. And I definitely do think that after he comes back from this time skip, because we know that this arc is wrapping up, the Aldron arc, everybody's about to head back to Fairy Tail if they make it back alive. But no, in all seriousness, we do know that they're about to make it back to Fairy Tail, and that is when I do believe that Natsu, he will begin, unless they start looking for the next dragon god, but he will begin actually training, because he obviously did see the difference in power. Aldron, he has proven to be way too strong for anybody to handle alone. So I definitely do think that Natsu, this is the time for him to begin developing his fire dragon god power. And I definitely do think that once he does reveal his new form, this will be something that we have never seen before. Yes, Natsu at full power is something that we have never seen before for a long time, because you guys gotta remember, END got canceled hard. Yes, END got canceled so hard. I mean, we got to see him just for a little bit, but we never really got to see him go all out. All he really did was just have a clash with Gray, and then we saw his iconic Fire Dragon King mode. Happy had to come in and stop him. Granted, it was for a good cause, but we saw that he did get stopped, and then Lucy had to step in and save Natsu's life from the Fire Dragon God mode. So Natsu, we never really got to see him go all out with his power. Obviously, he had to use the power of others, like when he fought Acnologia, he had to use the 7 flame dragons. So I do think that since Natsu, he's always been canceled at full power, this will be the perfect opportunity to see what Natsu can really do once he finally does have his full control over his final form. Because like I said, END, that was his strongest form, and even his Fire Dragon King mode, that was his strongest form at one point, but we all saw that he never ever got to really use that at full power. So this is why I do believe that Natsu's new form, once he actually is done training, he will be the Black Fire Dragon God. Yes, I do believe that Natsu, he's going to become the new Fire Dragon God once he actually does learn how to control his power, once he actually does defeat Ignia. Because yo, in case you guys have been living beneath the rock and didn't know, come in. The greatest fight of all time will be Natsu versus Ignia at the end of the series, because we know that Natsu, the only reason why he has this power is because Ignia wants to fight him himself. Yes, we know that Ignia, he wants Natsu to get stronger. So I definitely do think that Ignia, he's going to wait till Natsu is actually at a dragon god level, and once Natsu actually does get there, I definitely do think he will be the Black Fire Dragon God. Because number one, in case you guys are fake Fairy Tail fans and forgot, let me remind you, Natsu ate God Flames. Yes, we saw that Natsu, he already ate God Flames with Zenkro. And what color were those flames? Go ahead, only real Fairy Tail fans will know. Yes, we saw that they were the black flames of a god. So I definitely do think that was a little bit of foreshadowing. And we do know that the man who Natsu calls older brother himself, aka Zeref, he is known as the Black Wizard. And I definitely do think that Natsu acknowledging Zeref as his brother now, not only is that a huge sign for Natsu, because that was his main villain for the whole story, but I definitely do think he will pay homage to Zeref, just because we seen that he actually is riding for him at this point. Even when we seen Aldron disrespect him, he was like, no, don't talk bad about my brother. So I definitely do think that Natsu, he might actually pay homage to Zeref. We obviously do know he was named the Black Wizard, so what if he actually does adopt that? And the man who declared Natsu the Dragon King, the Black Dragon, Acnologia, we know that not only is Acnologia somebody who is have high respect for Natsu, but we also do know that he is alive in Beta Heaven. Yes, he is alive in Natsu's Beta Heaven, which means Natsu deems Acnologia important. Yes, in case you guys have been living underneath the rock and don't know, Beta Heaven is some place where you go once you're obviously near death, and that is where you meet people who you deem important. Obviously, we saw that's where Natsu met Zeref, Mavis, August, and Igneo even told Natsu that Acnologia was somewhere in there if he stayed a little bit longer. So I definitely do think since Acnologia did acknowledge Natsu as the king, he definitely will take that up. And listen, because we all were robbed of EAD's form, I definitely do think Hiro Mashima, he will come back and he will show us something, because we already seen that the demon form, that was obviously one of the biggest parts with Natsu, and the black flames from when he first used its power, I definitely do think that was foreshadowing at what Natsu's true ability is going to be. So I definitely do think that Natsu's new form, it will be the Black Fire Dragon God. He will be a Fire Dragon God, but it won't be the same as Igneo, nor will it be the same as Igneo. It will be something like his own, something that Natsu has made up. So I definitely do think not only will he get a brand new dragon form, but he'll also get a brand new fire type as well. Comment what you guys think down below. Subscribe if you haven't. I just remembered he's gonna get this form to fight God Ankh Saram. Peace out.